Hey, Wambui.
Hi, Liz. How are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I'm looking forward to this. You are one of the people that I decided that must be one of the first people I'm going to interview because I know your journey, but I wanted you to share with our viewers because I think you are one powerful woman. And I believe there's something you will share in today's show that will help one or two people. It may not help everybody, but you're going to be able to touch somebody. So let's start by you introducing yourself. Tell us who is Wambui, where you're coming from, what's your background, where did you grow up? So let's get to know a little bit about you, and then we'll talk about the rest of the stuff a little bit later.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for that awesome introduction. And I have also known you for many years, and I think you're one of my mentors. You have been. So that power you're talking about has also come from you. So thank you for
thank you.
Yeah. So my name is Wambui Mburu, and I am from Kenya. I was born in Deya. Are you familiar with Deya?
Girl, don't get me started with the Deya. Deya Ngote or another Deya?
Deya Ngombe, the original.
I actually went to school in Mburu, those sides in Deya.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
I don't know Deya so much per se, because of course it was a boarding school. So you only got out of school when you were going home, midterm, closing school, or maybe there was some type of event. But I know where exactly it is.
Yes. So I was born in Deya, a small town called Royal.
Royal.
I don't know Royal, whether it came from like the royal family or why they called it Royal. I think Queen Elizabeth must have settled there. But anyway, a small village called Royal.
Okay.
And I'm a fifth born out of 6 children.
Okay.
Now, my parents were both teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I began going to school, I went to the same school, to the school that my mother was teaching.
Oh, wow. Are you talking about primary school? The primary school?
Primary school, yes.
Okay.
Primary school.
You want to mention the school? Maybe somebody's looking at you and saying,
oh, yes. I went to a school. I went to a school called Tiekunu Primary School.
Tiekunu Primary School. That's in Deya.
In Deya, in Royal.
Okay.
So I went to that school, and it was a good thing because my mother taught there. So whenever we were late, everybody was let's go. Like if I was part of the late comers.
Wow.
When you go to the gate, everybody was like, okay, go to class. So those were some of the perks.
And did she get to teach you? Did your mom get to teach you? Was she your teacher?
My mother was my first history teacher.
Oh my gosh.
So the first time I heard the word civilization was from my mother.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was. And I remember her writing on the board, and she said, today we're going to read about civilization. And I was like, whoa, what a big word. I said, my mother is pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. And your dad taught in the same school?
My dad taught in a different school. Actually, my dad taught in a school called Meredo.
Meredo Girls?
The Meredo Primary School.
Oh, Meredo. There's a primary school called Meredo?
Yeah, there's a primary school called Meredo.
Ah, okay, because I went to Meredo Girls.
Yes, and that was a very good school too, Meredo
Back
Girls.
in the days. All right. Okay, so you see, I'm familiar with the area. That's how I know the area. So you went there for your primary school.
When I was in standard 4,
my
father transferred me to a school in Narok, a boarding school in Narok.
What?
And I was only 8.
Wow. At 8 years old? What was our parents thinking?
I know, but it was at that time, I think it was like prestigious to go to a boarding school. It was like the best education. According to them, it's like, I'll take my kid to boarding school. Yeah. They'll get good education. And I remember my mom, she begged me and she said, please. And she would call me for you, don't leave me. And she had my auntie come and talk to me, but I would hear none of it.
Did your older siblings go to boarding school, or was this just you?
It was my older siblings went to another school in Narok.
Okay.
And what happened is that in that school that they went to a school called Ole Sankare.
In Narok, the same Narok. What was it about Narok that your dad loved so much?
he had friends. Okay, so my dad and some of his friends in Mburu, his buddies,
Okay.
they had a friend in Narok
Mm-hmm.
who talked, very good about the schools in Narok.
Yeah.
So I remember there were 3 families from Mburu that we were all taken to Narok.
Okay.
There was this family in Narok that my parents trusted and they liked, and so they kind of felt comfortable with sending us there to school there.
Mm-hmm.
So in my sisters were sent to school there, but they did not have a vacancy for me for standard 4.
Mm-hmm.
So my father went and got me another school, got me admission at St. Mary's Primary School in Narok.
Oh, okay.
So I went there and I went up until standard 6, and then my sisters graduated, or rather, finished their 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all taken back. So they went to high school, and so I also went back home because it's like I was the youngest, and so they didn't really want to leave me in Narok. So I went back to Tiekunu.
Oh, you went back to Tiekunu?
I went back to Tiekunu.
And that's where you finished your primary school?
Finished primary school.
Wow, what an experience.
It was
an experience. So did you like boarding school as like in primary, elementary? You are young for that.
I was very young. I was very young, but I think, I've been thinking about my life, and I think I'm very adventurous.
Yeah.
I've been in, different places, and it was a little bit lonely, especially because I was the youngest.
Yeah.
And I was very close to my mom.
Yeah.
So I remember sometimes I'll just be sitting alone, but I did make friends. I made friends, but boarding school was fun.
Wow, that's good. And then from there, where did you go?
Then from there, I went to Senior Chief Koinange.
Senior Chief Koinange. That was a good school. That was a very good school. Yes, even from back in them years that we're not going to mention.
I know. I went to Senior Chief Koinange.
Okay.
I did not apply myself. So I didn't do well in 4th form.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a party girl. Mm-hmm. I was just not applying myself.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't do well in my finals. And so I remember when I went to get my finals, and I was told that I didn't do well. And I went back home with my grades, and I met my father in Mburu.
Who was a teacher?
I know. And my father, so coming from Kiambaa now with my results, so I meet Dad. He's in Mburu, and the first thing I told him, Dad, I did not pass, and I want to repeat.
Oh my gosh. You told your dad you wanted to repeat from 4.
Yeah, from 4. So yeah, he said, okay. So that was me I didn't want to be lectured because I really did not, I did not apply myself.
Wow.
So I went to, again, I was taken to a school in Narok to repeat this 4th form. It was a school called St. Anthony's. It was I guess my dad liked all these Catholic schools. It was called St. Anthony's. It was a very good school. And that's when, so I go to St. Anthony's, and 2 weeks, it was actually in Nairekiangare. I don't know if you've heard of Nairekiangare. It's like inside Narok. So really
Narok is not far from Limuru, yeah?
Oh no, Narok is about, I want to say 3 hours drive from Limuru.
From Limuru. Okay, yeah. I don't know where it is. I have an idea, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, the school was really inside the bushes.
Okay. But
I remember we would see these tourist cars just coming, through, because really the bushes, that's where the animals are.
Wow. Wow.
But anyway, so 2 weeks later, so my dad takes me to this school, and it's like, oh my God, it's really inside here, but you're going to do well. And he said, I'm going to come and see you in 2 weeks. Now, 2 weeks come, the Friday that my dad promised to come and see me. And that evening, someone comes to get me from school and tells me, we need to go home because your brother is sick. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah.
It was a friend of my dad. And so anyway, I said, all right, let's go home. So when I get there, I learned that my dad passed away.
Your dad?
Yeah, that day.
Oh
in a road
my God. They told you your brother was sick.
Yeah, just to get me to go home.
To get you out of school.
To get me out of school.
Oh my gosh. And then you went home to learn that your dad had passed?
he had passed away in a road accident that same day that he had said he would come and see me at school.
My God.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's,
May his soul rest in peace. Wow.
thank you.
That must
Yes,
be.
that was,
Wow.
yeah, that was something. So anyway, that year was tough for me, and obviously the rest of our family. But that's the year I passed. I passed.
Wow, you did really good.
Myself so much.
Do you
I
think?
applied myself
Do
so
you
much.
think your dad passing, you felt like you owed him something? Like, given that you had told him, you know, I didn't do good, but I want to repeat fourth form. And of course, the purpose of repeating was for you to do better. So do you feel like you owed him?
I felt I owed him, and I felt, you know, my dad was very dedicated to our education, and he would do anything for us. So I was very focused. I really I felt really I owed that to my dad. It was a very tough year, but I passed, and in fact I was actually, now, you know how when you passed and you did so well in fourth form, you did even that you need, some schools came to, they admitted you just automatically.
Wait, which system did you do? That's the question.
Oh, I was in fourth form, so I did what do you mean? Not the 844, but the 742.
You did the KCPE, not the wait. You did the CPE, not the KCPE.
I did the CPE for
you
CPE
went to fifth form and sixth form.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it was the CPE. All right, so they admitted you right there and there.
So once so I was actually in there. So Narok High admitted me, like, you know, automatically. They were looking for me. Okay. So anyway, I went there for 2 years, and you know, did my 2 years of fifth form and sixth form.
Wow, amazing. What a journey. What a journey. What a journey. And then from there, where did you go? And
then so from there I went to Valley Secretarial College.
Yes, I know that school.
Yeah, I did not. So I didn't make it to go to the university. We only had 3 universities, and they were very, you know, obviously the acceptance.
Oh my gosh, yeah. For the longest, Kenya only had 3 unis. Nairobi, Kenyatta, and is it Egerton College? Yeah. And now they're all over. That's awesome that they have realized how important education is, and not limit the universities that kids can go to after high school. All right. So did you work in Kenya?
I did.
Valley Secretarial?
I go to Valley Secretarial. So my mother worked hard, because obviously she was a single parent now at that time. And so she had these 6 kids, and, you know, she took us to these colleges. And so again, it's like, you know, working hard to know.
And she was still teaching?
No, she had left. Oh, my parents had already left teaching.
Oh, she had already left teaching. Okay. So she was just like farming? Was she farming?
Oh, yeah. Both of my parents were poultry farmers.
Oh, okay.
So we had a poultry farm, and when we were growing up, you know, I want to say from when I was 10 years old, so we had a poultry farm, and we were supplying eggs to the Kenya Army, to the whole of Kenya Army, because we had like 10,000 chickens. And so that's where they were entrepreneurs. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Ooh, Kenya Army. Ooh, I used to see get scared. All right. So after high school, you went to Valley Secretarial. So you started working in Nairobi, I'm assuming.
So I started working. Yeah. I worked for National Housing Corporation.
Oh,
that was my first job.
Okay.
I worked there for about, I think I want to say 2 years. And then I went to East Africa Industries. After East Africa Industries, while I was there, I was now starting to think about coming to the US to further my education.
Okay.
So I didn't really spend too much time at East Africa Industries.
Okay.
From East Africa Industries, I came to the States.
So let's talk about your relocation from Kenya to the United States. How was that? How was the experience? Was the US what you thought? You know, we all had our own pictures of what the US was. What was your expectation, and what did you find? Was your expectations met? And I think I would like you to share, was it easy to settle down here? What were some of the challenges? And what did you do to overcome whatever challenges you had to overcome?
Okay. So I had friends who had come to the US to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the friends who actually invited me, got me a school in Ohio. So
Oh, you went to Ohio first?
I went to Ohio, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So from the correspondence that, we had, and, they would send me pictures, and I was like, oh my God, this is really nice. And it just looked like America was this place where you wanted to be.
Yeah.
Well, my friends were, the family, their parents were educating them. They were paying for their school fees.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't seem to have a rough time.
Oh, from their parents from Kenya were paying their school fees.
Were paying their tuition here in the States.
Yeah, I would like you to touch on that, because so you came here and you had to pay your own school fees.
I had to pay my own school fees.
So talk about that, because I don't think people in Kenya quite understand, like sometimes when kids are coming here, we have those two groups of people. There are kids who come here, who come from a very well-off family, rich families, and their families take care of them throughout their stay, 2 years or 4 years, however long they stay here. They get all their support from home. And I believe majority of the kids are the ones that come here, and very few come with scholarship, and that's a different case. But majority of people come here after high school or after college, and they have no money. Talk about that, so that somebody who is thinking of sending their kid here, or a young person in Kenya who want to go to the US. I will talk about the US because that's where we are. I don't know how the system in like other countries work, but somebody who would like to come to the US and they have no money, what is the process, and what would you tell them?
Yeah, so for me, I did a Harambee, a fundraiser in Kenya to come to the US. So I had friends come and give me some money, and that was enough money to bring me to buy my ticket and to pay for my first semester.
Okay.
And after that, that was it. I was on my own. So that meant that I needed to get a job.
Okay.
That meant that this job was going to pay for my tuition and my expenses. And I needed to buy a car. I needed to pay for my bills. So it was quite tough. And I remember I started working, and I worked. My first job was I worked for this company called Dirt Devil. I don't know if you've seen those vacuum cleaners called Dirt Devil.
No. Are those the guys who used to go from door to door a long time ago, like late 90s, early 2000, or people, I don't know, Cadby, vacuum. I remember people
it's
who click on your doorbell and do a demo of the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, that's a vacuum cleaner I worked for.
Okay.
I worked at an assembly line.
Okay. Oh, in their factory.
Their factory. So you're putting a piece of the whatever, and it's assembly line. It's just very repetitive. And so I go to work during the day. No, I actually go to school during the day, and then I take a bus from Cleveland, which is where I went to school. And the bus would take me all the way to oh my God, I think it was like about 2 hours from Cleveland. That's where I worked. And I didn't have a car, so I depended on my coworkers to get a ride.
Wow, that's tough here. That is very, very, very tough. Like, it was because of the schedule and all that. How was that? That must have been tough.
Because you're going to work and you're depending on someone who is going to Cleveland at 11 p.m. because you're working from 3 to 11. So you're taking chances.
You're in Ohio, you're relying on your roommates to take you to work. On your coworkers, sorry, to take you to work.
So I'm taking the bus. So I go to school and then I take the bus to go to 2 hours away, the factory where I'm working. And from there, I'm just asking my coworkers, I know you live in Cleveland. Can you give me a ride to Cleveland? So that's how I lived.
How many years?
Well, I didn't do that. That didn't last for long. It was only for about, I want to say 3 months.
Okay, before you got a car.
Before I got in fact, I didn't get a car yet. I bought my car a year later. But
Okay.
now what I did with my secretarial skills,
Mhm.
I was able to apply for a job. I went to an
Mhm.
agency and I was able to apply for secretarial, administrative work jobs.
Okay.
So I now started working in Cleveland in offices. So that was
Okay.
good. So that secretarial background really helped me.
Go to school there.
Mhm.
Now you have your car. And what I wanted them to get is in most countries, and at least I know here, you can, if you are in school, you can also work part-time and be able to
Yes.
make some money. So we don't want to scare people off thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I think if you have some money to get you here, you have, like for you, you did the Harambe, you had money to at least pay for your first semester.
Yes.
And while you're doing that, it's very easy to figure out your way around like you did.
It's easy to figure out your way around when you have at least some money to at least jumpstart you.
Mhm.
But when you come with nothing, it can be extremely hard because now you're relying on
Yes.
people that you know. I mean, I've seen Kenyans who become homeless because really they have
Yes.
nothing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's a reality.
I think it's the mentality of, I just want to get to the US. You know, we
Yes.
all want our fellow Kenyans to come here, but I think the desperation, you know, when you don't know what is on the other side, you know, we're not saying it's bad. We want them to come, but I think what you are saying is they need to prepare, especially be prepared for your first year, if nothing else, for your first day. Don't say, I just want to get there. Because when you get here, you realize in America, you can't do much if you don't have a car.
No.
And if
No.
you have a roommate or a family member, a friend that is hosting you, they may not be able to actually drive you around because they may work very far. People drive very far here to go work, and they may work different schedules. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what happened. You know, my roommates had different jobs. They were working different schedules. So I needed to take care of myself and just figure out, like I said, I was getting rights from my coworkers, American. I didn't know them. So it's taking a risk. That was really taking
And
a
that
risk.
was many years ago. Things have
And that was many
changed.
years ago.
Things have changed. So
Yeah.
like we were talking about those vacuum, people would come to your door and ring the bell and you open and they come in, they do a demo. That doesn't happen today.
No.
Like, literally, nobody would come ringing your bell to try to sell you something today, you know, so things have changed. So would you say if someone want to come here, they should do maybe a Harambe at home if they don't have money, and maybe take some time on the computer and do some research of where you are going, and don't come with the mentality that your roommate or your host is going to do everything for you. Figure out, talk to them, ask them about the train system, the bus system, because those are very rare in most places, unless you live in a big city like New York City. But I just see people just hop on a plane as soon as they get the visa and they come, only to figure out, okay, there's going to be a lot of challenges I'm going to have to deal with.
Yeah. So again, like you said, do your research and don't be in a hurry to go to America. I mean, when you don't really have everything figured out, do your research, have some money, whatever you have to do, because you're not going to get a job immediately you get here. In fact, unless you have a green card, it's it's very hard to also even get a job to do. So yeah, doing your research, preparing yourself mentally, knowing the state that you're going to, what's the public system there.
Yeah.
What town are you living in? Are you living in a town where they are not, the bus system, it takes like 2 hours to get to you. Yes. So just do that research and then just know exactly what are your expectations. Don't have those big expectations because it can be very disappointing. It's not easy. And it took me a long time to even finish my associate degree because
working.
I'm working. I have two jobs.
Talk about that because you can come, let's say, for example, for a 4-year degree, and it could take you 8 years, could take you 7 years, could take you 10 years.
It take you 10 years.
And
Yes.
again, it's also the planning. But I think today, back in the days, we didn't have much. Okay, the internet was there, but there was no social media where you can go and check the college on their Facebook page, follow them on their Twitter page. So back in the days, it was very challenging. I think what has made it much easier, if somebody is willing to do their research, not just say, I'm excited, I got this visa or I got this green card. Because even with a green card, it's still challenging. They're not going to do everything for you, which is what people think. Like you get here and the government has you also. Yes, it's way much, 98% easier than people who come with other ways of coming here, students, whatever. Right. But taking the time to go to social media, check out the school, check out the town, like almost every town, the police stations of that town, they're all on Facebook, they're all on Twitter. I think it will make life much easier. And like you said, don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. You got that visa, don't be in a rush. But we also understand is the situation sometimes back at home can be so challenging that as long as I have my plane ticket, that's all that matters.
I'll figure it out.
There are people who come to the airport not knowing where they are going, and that's how people end up getting sent back.
And I like that about you, because you do a lot of research. You've always done research. You're not someone you come and tell, oh, at least this, and you're so excited about it. Oh, no. You're like,
a lot of stuff come across my desk, businesses, whatnot, opportunities. And I never ignore, I always look, because you never know, but take the time. There's no rush in anything. Just like we were saying, if you want to come to America or go to any other country out there, now, I get it. You're like, I want to be in the next, Kenya Airways flight going to America or the next plane and get out of here. But if you don't want to be one of those stories that we see on YouTube, where people are in certain cities, certain countries, and they're in the street, or life is hard. I saw a video the other day, this lady, she was crying her heart out that life in Canada is so hard, and she was crying, and she was saying she's lonely and all that, and you sympathize with her. But before you go to a city, I mean, like, there's so many Kenyans. I mean, like, everywhere there are Kenyans. Just go on social media and try to, especially Facebook, you're going to find people, and try to go to a city where there are other Kenyans. Generally, we are supportive people. We support each other. We may not do everything, but we support each other. But now, don't come with a mindset, or they're going to give you money and all that. That's not how it works. They are not giving you money. They are supporting you, showing you the system, showing you,
they'll show you the way.
They will show you the way, but you need to figure it out when it comes to money, because you're going to need some money. So don't come here with no money and expect your host to give you money. That's going to be very, 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 very challenging.
So true. So true.
Now you get yourself situated in Ohio, and you go to college. Takes you a long time, which was because you had to work and pay for your own school fees. So I'm assuming there were some times you had to drop out to work full time.
Oh yeah, I dropped out many times. I remember even getting my first car. My sister Jerry, who lived in France at that time, she's the one who gave me money to buy my car. She added me some money, and so it was hard, even with this job that I'm working, because you're not getting like thousands of dollars. So my sister helped me out with that, and I got my first car, and so I was able now to work 2 jobs.
Okay, now with a car. Now
with a car, because I can drive far. So I work in the morning, and then I go to school in the afternoon, and then go to the second job at night.
Wow. See?
Yeah.
That's hard work. That's hard work.
Hard work.
So
it's like
finally, you go back to school and you finish your degree.
So I finished my degree. Actually, I do my 2-year degree. And actually, that time I moved to California.
Oh, so from Ohio to California.
So I moved. It was too cold for me.
What a difference. Okay. How do you go to California?
So my sister came, one of my sisters came to join me in the US, and we stayed in Ohio for, I want to say, for about a year. And then she moved to California, and I followed her, because again, you go to, first of all, the weather, and then being closer to my sister was was important to
So
me.
you finally had a family member here. So
I had a family member. So,
okay.
So that's where I finished my 2-year degrees.
Okay.
My community college degree. And it's again, working and going to school.
Going to school.
So you're taking like just 2 classes or
Yeah.
1 class,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It took a while. It took a long time. And then after that, 1996, my brother passes away. And I decided
in Kenya? He was in
Kenya.
Okay.
He was in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, okay, I am going home to stay with my mom because you know she's experienced too many losses. Let me go be with her. She wasn't, you know, doing very well. So I said, I'm gonna go be with her. So I went back to Kenya, and immediately when I got there, I had a job
in Kenya.
Yes, I was like, I am getting a job.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter, because when I got there, people were like, why are you here?
So how long had you stayed in America before you went back home?
I had stayed 6 years.
About 6
from
years?
1991 to 1997. Yeah.
So you had gone to school, and now you're back home.
Yeah.
And was it hard to get a job when you went back?
It was not hard for me.
Wow.
It wasn't hard for me.
Okay.
Because I think I was set. And I know when, you know, again, when you think of something and when you have your mindset on something, I think it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went back, it took me 2 weeks. I mean,
what?
And people, 2 weeks. And
2
people
weeks to find a job? Did
What
you find a job in the same line of whatever you went to school for, or it was a totally different thing?
It was totally different. At that point, it didn't matter to me. I just wanted to get a job.
Okay.
In Kenya, because I was like, I need to, you know, get a job.
So were you going to stay there in your mind when you went back? You said, I'm gonna go be with my mom. Did you want to go and just be there for maybe a year, 2 years, come back, or you were like, I'm done with the US, I'm gonna go settle in Kenya?
I wanted to be there to be with my mom, and it was for just some time.
Okay.
All right. And I wasn't planning on coming back, but it was whatever doors open for me.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
And so I was fortunate enough to get a job at DHL.
Oh, DHL.
Yes, okay. I was there doing customer service.
Okay.
Customer service work. Mm-hmm. It was really good. I liked it. And then stayed there for about a year. Mm-hmm. And I started working for Family Media.
That's what is that now? TV station?
That's the one that owns Family TV. Have you heard of Family TV?
No, I don't know. I know
Family. It was the first Christian media in Kenya.
Oh, okay. Does it still exist?
I think it's still there.
I don't see them on YouTube. I see all these MTV, Citizen, KTN, the Kikuyu, whatever. Okay, that's good. So you worked there.
So I worked there. Mm-hmm. And so during my 3rd year, that was like the 3rd year now that I was in Kenya. And
wow, you went 3 years?
Yes.
Let me ask you, actually, I should have asked you this. How easy was it? Okay, you got a job. You were used to being in the US for at least 6 years. How easy was it to transit? You were already driving here in the US. Let's talk about driving, because that's what most of us, and especially if by the time you left Kenya, you didn't know how to drive. Mm-hmm. So you started driving in the US, and of course,
Actually, I learned how to drive in Kenya.
But did you drive?
I did not drive.
Because that's what I did. I learned how to drive in Kenya, and I got my Kenyan driving license. Mm-hmm. But I never had a car, and I never drove. Okay. Yeah. So now you start driving in the US. For 6 years, you're going on the other side of the road. The steering wheel is on the opposite side. And now you are back in Kenya. How was that? I mean, I know 6 years, it's not such a long time, but still, it's 6 years you've been away from home. So
the thing is, I didn't drive. I didn't have a car.
Oh, you didn't have a car? Okay.
Yeah. You know, I didn't see, again, I went back home not prepared, because for me, it was a situation that made me go back. My brother passes away.
Yes.
I want to go back to stay with my mom. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I had planned and had all this money to go and buy a car. So now that was a challenge.
That was a hasty decision. Wow.
Yeah. So that was a challenge.
Now you are from America. You're back. Unapangwa kwa matatu sasa.
I'm from America. I'm catching my tattoos.
Uh-huh.
But let me tell you, it was a very good experience for me.
That's good.
Being at home,
Mhm.
being with my mom, being available for her if she needed
Yeah.
to go to the doctor's office or
That was
anything.
fulfilling.
Oh, it was, I would never, I never regretted it. It was
I
very
believe
good.
you because you stayed that long and nothing was stopping you from coming back.
Nothing was I had a 5-year visa, by the way.
Nothing was stopping you. So
Yeah, nothing was stopping me.
definitely. So you adjusted pretty much easily,
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah, I adjusted
Okay.
well.
All
I
right.
adjust, and a lot of my friends had actually returned from the US to Kenya around that time.
Mhm.
I had people to, just hang out with. and
Okay.
It was
People
good
who are already your friends when or you were friends with rather when you were in the
Yeah.
US. All
when
right.
I was in the US, and people who had been in the US and had relocated back to Kenya
To Kenya. Okay.
at that time.
Then how do you get back here? Did your visa expire while you're in Kenya or you still it was still good?
It's still good. And so in 2000, I'm like, hi, I still have this visa.
Wait, we're talking about 2000?
Yeah.
Oh, in 2000 you're in Kenya?
Yeah, because I went back
Because I
in
met you in 2004, 2005.
2005, I think. Yeah.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So 2000 you're in Kenya.
So 2000 is when I was in Kenya. Yeah, I returned in Kenya in 1997, stayed until 2000.
So during that whole embassy bombing thing, you're in Kenya.
I was in Kenya. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that
Nairobi.
part about you. So you had gone back home and stayed there for a few years.
For 3 years. Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm looking at my visa and I'm like, I have a valid visa here.
Mhm.
I think I should go back to America and now do my 4-year degree and finish.
So you want to come back for school again?
I'm coming back for school.
School is never out for the pros. Wow. Okay.
I'm a professional student. So anyway, I come back and so I come back to the US and my sister is in New York. I live with her.
Oh, so now your sister has moved from California to New York.
Moved from
while you're in Kenya.
Yes.
Okay, so this time now you don't go to California, you don't go to Ohio, you come to New York.
Yeah, and so again, I'm going to where, and I know it's important for people to know this because it's easy to go where you know someone. You know?
Much easier.
Because I mean, going to California, which is where my school was, right? I was like,
you still had to start all over again, even if you are familiar with California. And that's good point there because you were already familiar with California before you left for Kenya. And when you came back, you still decided, no, I'm not going to go to California, even though you would know your way around. You're going to go to New York where your sister was. So that's so important for people to understand that even people who have been in a certain state, sometimes they may not go back there if they have relocated back to Kenya. So it is so important you go in an area where you know you're going to get some type of support system from maybe other Kenyans.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed, so that's where, I'm back in New York. And so the first thing again, get a job. Yeah. So again, with my background working in the US, it was easy for me to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Then signed up for some classes. And a year later, I met my husband.
Wow. Are you done with school or you're getting married and going to school at the same time?
I'm now getting married and going to school. In fact, now when I get married, because now I have my children, I have twin daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stop my work and I'm gonna stop school to take care of my kids.
Wow. And they are twins. You didn't even think they are twins. So that's like a lot of work.
Exactly. So I did. So I stopped. So I stopped school and I stopped working, and became a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2 years, when they were 2 years old, I decided, okay, I need to do something, here. I mean, I gotta work because my husband is the only one who's working.
Mm-hmm.
And just to even get out of the house or supplement the income, I needed to do something.
Yeah.
And that's when I joined Mary Kay Business.
Oh my gosh, because I remember when I met you, your girls were like 2 years, because they are like 3 years older than my daughter, yeah? And when I met you in person, I was pregnant. I remember that. So that's how I remember. All right. So you get back to work and maybe we can just mention that part because we did do the Mary Kay business together. I don't even remember how did I meet you? Who introduced me to you? I don't remember.
So this is what happened. So here I am, and I'm like, okay, I want to do something. I want to do some kind of work that will allow me to be at home with the kids.
Yes.
And I'm talking to a friend of mine, and she says, hey, do you know there's a friend of mine here in Boston, and she does Mary Kay. And I say, oh, okay. In Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, okay, introduce give me her number. So
Mm-hmm.
she gave me her number.
Mm-hmm.
And she happened to be your team member.
Mm-hmm.
And so I joined Mary Kay through.
Oh, that's how it worked?
Yeah, that's how it worked.
Oh, I don't remember. And now that you're saying it, I just remember us knowing each other and being friends during our time in Mary Kay and after that. So it was somebody in Boston that introduced me to you. Mm-hmm. Wow. Now I remember, if we may talk a little bit, because where I'm going with this, even though we didn't continue with our business after some times, it's just the work ethic that I saw in you. You come in and you see this opportunity, and boy, did you run with it. You ran hard.
I ran hard.
I remember when you call me and you say, Liz, I want to come to your house. I want to come to your house. I want to sit down with you. I want to get everything that you know. I want you to share. And you drove, and it was snowing. It was snowing. Not a lot. And you drove all the way to my house.
Long Island.
Yes. I remember. I remember that very well. So you worked very hard in that business, that I know. And you even got a free car from
I got a free car. Yeah.
And you became a sales director, which it takes a lot of work to be successful in a company like Mary Kay. It takes a lot. But then at some point you moved on. You went back to school. I don't know how many times you've gone back to school. You were in school a couple of years ago, which is good. You're always, I mean, education is never out. You can never say, I now know it all. If you have the opportunity to go to school, definitely go. And you're one person I know that you can wake up today and call me, Liz, I'm taking some classes online. The next time I'm going to, I don't know what university for my graduation. I'm like, when did this happen? Education is good because I think, especially in this country, if you want to do good, you can always go back to school and get a better job and a better job. But there are the opportunities for sure. It doesn't, school is not for everybody. Some people are like, I'm good with a 2-year college, 4-year degree, whatever the case is. But I know you juggle, you do everything.
I did.
Now the girls are bigger and you go back to corporate America, and you also have a business that you're running. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So, and I want to talk about even when I was working with you as my director, I found your work ethic really, oh my God, Liz, you just were very, I think you're very gifted with strategic, you're very strategic, just help us plan ahead and do this and it's like, okay, and then we are doing this. So just looking at you being so successful in that business, it also helped me as a fellow Kenyan, as a fellow woman. It's like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it.
Do it too. Yeah.
She can do
it. That was your attitude, Liz. If you can do it, I can do it too. And it just makes life easier for everybody, for all of us, when you mentor somebody and you see they have you may not know what you're doing, but you have the drive, you have the willingness to learn. Versus, oh my gosh, I can't be where you are. I can't achieve this. This is hard. This is, you look at that challenge and you are like, if she can do it, if he can do it, I can do it too. And that's a mindset. In America, you have to have that mindset. You have to have that mindset. There is, and I believe not just in America, everywhere. You have to have that mindset. Because even me, that's the same thing. I looked at other people and I'm like, we have the same stuff. Like, if she can do it, I can do it. The question is, we have the same hours, 24 hours. Why can't it be done? So I enjoyed working with you. Absolutely. I loved it. So we move on, and you're still working. Now the girls are still growing, and you go back to corporate America.
Now the girls go to kindergarten, and I say, okay, let me go back to finish my degree.
Oh, so you go back to school,
I
not
go
to
back to
work.
school when
Okay.
I'm still, still staying at home, and
Yeah.
I'm going back
Yeah.
to school and girls. So anyway, go back to school and I finished my 4-year degree. And
Wow.
the last semester, I remember I took 9 classes. And I remember my advisor telling me, I've never had that done before, but you can try. But
Yeah.
you know why I did that? It's because my kids were I was always at a computer, and it's like, Mom, you never play with us. You never play with us. We
Yeah.
need you to finish it. Okay, enough.
They make
So
you guilty,
they
those
make
mommy,
you
the mommy guilt.
the mommy guilt.
And you're like,
So
I'm
that
doing this for you girls.
Yeah, I know. So
Uh-huh.
that gave me a push. And obviously my husband was able to support us while I was doing all this thing at home. So now I graduate, and then I go to corporate America and I work. And so I've been working since 2017, which is when
2017. Okay.
Yeah. So being in corporate America, but I've always had this passion of being an entrepreneur. And I think, in fact, I started being an entrepreneur when I was 14 years old. I don't know if I told you that.
Wow.
14 years old when I was in high school, I would buy bras and underwear and sell
In
them.
high school, you are buying bras and reselling them?
Yes, there was a factory in Kikuyu, and they used to make bras, and I would pass by there on our opening day and buy some bras and sell them to other students. So I'm always
so that was always in you.
It's always in me. I mean, being self-employed, I mean, just being an entrepreneur, being able to provide for myself. I think I'm just even watching my parents do their business, that gave me a motivation. So I get into corporate, but I also now have my coaching business on the side, which is really, really what, and I enjoy doing that.
Yes.
And because especially now, I'm a talent management consultant at my 9 to 5, which is really helping people become better at what they do.
Okay, so I want to talk about that. I want you to take the time and talk about your coaching business, because girl, I've watched you grow from those days of Mary Kay to learning how to do things online. I remember when we spent hours learning to do a lot of stuff, whether it's social media, whether it's marketing here and there, doing different things. And you just took off. There were some seminars you were going to, I don't know in what state or at one point, just to keep yourself, and this time is not necessarily school per se, the setup of a school, but it was just you learning how to become a businesswoman, how to become a better entrepreneur. So I've seen you invest your money and time to be who you are today. So now you have this successful coaching and consulting business. I see you online all the time. Sometimes you open your classes and then you close. I'm like, who does that? Why is it closed? You cannot take any more people. So talk about that. What do you do? And let's talk how you are able to juggle all that. What do you do? Tell us about your business.
Yeah, so what I do with my business is I'm a life and career clarity mindset coach, which is really, again, in a simple terms, helping people become better at what they do, giving them the strategies to be successful in life. Because I myself was there where I was stuck, where I did not believe in myself. And even though I've had this journey, there's been some places where you're like, okay, do I really?
Self-doubt.
Yeah, you have all this self-doubt, and you have all this fear, and it's overcoming that from these classes that I've attended, and knowing that if someone else can do it, I can do it. I am here for a reason. I am here. There's a purpose why I'm here, and it's a purpose to find who am I, what is my authentic self, and so that's what I love to do, helping people find who they are. Get clear on what they want, and then just giving them those tools and strategies to become really to succeed in life and be the people God created them to be.
Wow, so, that's amazing. How long are the classes? Like when they enroll, when do they start? Because like I said, I've seen you enroll people, when it's kind of like it quotes a semester, and then you close it. Like, I'm not taking any more people. They have to wait until the next
next cohort.
intake.
Right. So it's I do an 8-week class, 8-week group coaching program. But I also do, recently I have been taking one-on-one, because some people don't want to do the group coaching program. They want to do that one-on-one with you. So I do actually currently have 3 spots that are open for one-on-one clients.
One-on-one.
Yes, that so we walk the journey together, and we meet weekly, once an hour, and again support them in their goals and where they want to go. A lot of people who want either maybe they want to start a business, or they are high achievers, but they get stuck again with those limiting beliefs, and it's really giving them those tools and strategies to succeed.
Amazing. That's awesome. Is this only for people who live in America, or do you do this via Zoom? Because even in the US, we have people in different states. You can never get one. So you do this via Zooms, meaning somebody in Kenya, in the UK, in whatever country, or any states here in the US, they can enroll. They can do it one-on-one or group coaching.
They can do one-on-one group coaching. Doesn't matter where they are. Now, thank God for the internet, and Zoom is here.
Yeah,
so I know. Clients who are from Kenya, from all over, different parts of the world. So it's really working to see what their schedule is, what my schedule is, and I'm working together that way.
So maybe somebody watching you is saying, wow, that's something I would like to do, but I am busy. I have this full-time job. I'm a mom. I have so many things going on. So if somebody wanted to, because it's always good to have a side gig. I always tell people, don't rely on your job 100%, all right? Don't rely on that, because you never know. Job comes, job goes, all right? Or things just happen. You can find yourself fired. You can find company closing down. You can find, things happen like we had with COVID, and it's always good. I don't care whether you're baking cupcakes in your kitchen and trying to sell them to your friends. Always have something you're doing on the side. But most people are scared, and it could be anything. You can go into direct sales marketing if that's your cup of tea, or you could start now with the internet, you could start selling things online. But talk to someone who feel like, I would like to do something. Not only does it give you extra income, whatever it is you choose to do, not only does it give you extra income at the end of the week, at the end of the month, whatever, but it's also like your plan B. In case anything ever happened to your job, you have something to fall back to. That little baby that you've been taking care of on the side can become your full-time job. So talk to people how they can do this part-time while they still have a job, they still have families to take care of. Because I think that is the reason most people don't step out and do it. They feel like, I am so busy with the kids, I'm so busy with my job, and now here you are telling me I can start a business. And again, we are not telling them they go join companies or anything, but I believe anybody can start a business right from their own house, no matter where you are, and especially now with the internet, there's so much that can be done. So how do you juggle that with a full-time job and
so that's a good question. That's a good question, because it's like you said, it's important to diversify our incomes, our income streams.
Multiple streams of income.
Multiple streams of income. There's nothing wrong with that. I think even the Bible talks about 7 streams of income or something.
Oh, I didn't know that. It does.
Wow. I know. So it's really important. And sometimes I feel like we can don't be boxed in one place. Meaning, like, I personally enjoy what I do at my 9 to 5, and I also know that I have this multiple other passions that I have. So what do I do? So I create time. It's really prioritizing. Prioritizing whatever is not serving you, leave it, so that you can create time on your calendar to do this business. Now, the other thing, the way I do my business is that, since I obviously want to serve at my 9 to 5, I have to be there, I have to be present. I have people who help me with my side business, meaning I don't do everything for my coaching.
You outsource.
I outsource.
Delegate.
I delegate.
And talking about outsourcing and delegation, which is totally important. You don't have to do everything by yourself. You can outsource to other people.
Right.
Because I'm your friend, I happen to know that you actually do all your outsourcing in Kenya. You have actually people you have hired in Kenya. So at the end of the month, you have a few people that you pay their salaries, or whether they are doing it as a part-time job for you or full-time job.
Right.
That's something that I really, really admire about you. So how did you decide that for all my outsourcing, I'm not going to go to Asia, and I'm not going to hire people here in America. I'm going to hire people back in Kenya, because that's very, very impressive. And I think if you speak about that, a lot of us and a lot of people here who have businesses, who have work that they can outsource, they'll start thinking twice. Because when you told me that, honestly, I always used to look Upwork and freelance and all that. But you are the only person, and again, there might be other people doing it. I don't know them. I'm just talking about from my circles of friends. You are the only person I know that does that, and you started that. And I think a lot of people will start to do that. Talk about that. How and why do you outsource in Kenya?
So the reason why I outsource in Kenya is because I believe we're very talented. We're very, very talented. But we have very few opportunity, very lack of opportunity in Kenya. So I like to give back because charity begins at home.
Yes.
So for me, it's really knowing that I can help. I can help someone in Kenya who has this talent, and they're going to help me, and I help them. So in fact, one of my team members, so currently I have 3 team members, and because I have a podcast, and then I do also have someone who helps me with my podcast.
Yes.
I have someone who helps me with my email marketing, and then there's another lady who comes back and forth part-time.
And they are all in Kenya.
All in Kenya. But the thing is, one of these ladies, this young woman, she worked with me. She's worked with me now for 2 years. And she's been able to educate her sister in college.
Wow.
Her sister recently graduated, and she told
me,
I know, she told me that money that she was, that from the job that she works, the work she does with me, she puts it aside and she educated her sister. So that's joy to me.
Wow, that's fulfilling. And that's amazing. I applaud you for doing that. That's just something that I hope a lot of us, okay, not everybody can do that, because there are, of course, people who have just full-time job and no businesses. But if you're out there, you have a business, and a lot of business, we outsource all the time. You can do everything. Just like you hire people to help you clean the house, because you don't want to be the one working, taking care of the kids, the cooking, and then you are still cleaning the toilets and everything. I know here in the US it's challenging, but sometimes, we do take money and pay people to come and help us clean. So it's the same thing when you have a business. You need a website done. You need somebody to manage your social media sites. You need somebody to do graphic design for you. You need somebody to manage your whatever it is. Outsource at home. They are skilled, talented people in Kenya who can do it. Even if not be able to hire these people as a full-time job, they can do it as part-time, because when you pay somebody $400 at the end of the month, that's almost 50,000. $400 today is, with the exchange rate, it's almost 50,000.
Right. That can that is a family.
That can actually educate a child.
Oh, yeah.
That can educate a child. There's a lot they can do with that. So I think we really, really need to have people like you speak up of what you're doing, because I know a lot of Kenyans that have businesses, or people call me, do you know somebody who can build a website for me? Do you know somebody who can do this for me? And sometimes without us thinking, we're like, oh, yeah, I know of this I know of this guy, but these are people who are here, and it's not even other Kenyans. Okay.
Yeah.
So why not take business back at home? Whatever you need done, anything you need done. There's a lot of young people that are skilled and that can do. I mean, I look at your graphics. I'm like, oh, who did this for you? I'm always like, who did this for you? Who wrote this? You did an ebook. Who did the cover for you? These guys in Kenya are amazing. If we can just support them a little bit. All right. So I'm excited about.
And actually, Yeah. So I have an agency where if someone wanted to hire virtual assistants, they can come to me. You know, I have a number of people in Kenya who have skills. I decided I wanted them to be, because it's easy for me to get jobs. You know,
so talk about that. Take the time to talk about that. How does that work? So you have this agency that if let's say, for example, I'm a graphic designer and I'm in Nairobi, I'm in Kisumu, whatever.
Yeah. So you sign up with me. And then if someone like you, Liz, asks me, do you know someone who does graphic design? So you come and we, you know, so it's through my agency, you give us the work, and the person in Kenya will do the work for you.
So does that work like the job agencies, like the way the job agencies here work?
It's kind of like a job agency. So you would really sign up with us, sign up with my company, my agency, and then I get you these people because I've already vetted them. I already know their skills.
And to sign up is free. They don't have to pay a fee.
Oh yeah, signing up is free.
Okay, so that's good. That's amazing. That's amazing. So we're going to talk about how they can reach you, because I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in that. So we are going to give them your social media handles and how they can connect with you. But I think that is amazing that you are able to feed some families and make a difference in somebody else's life back at home. All right, so I think we are coming to the end, but is there anything else you would like to share, like something I did not ask you? I know there's a lot, we can always talk and they'll see more of you, but do you have anything else I did not ask you that you would like to share with our viewers?
Well, I have enjoyed this conversation, and again, just really talking about what we do here, and what's available and what's available at home. It's important for us to, even as Kenyans who are abroad, to share with each other. What are your experiences here, so that we can help our people at home know when we're coming here, be prepared. This is what to look for.
Yes.
And as well as just, you know, providing opportunities for our people. It's very important to do that.
Thank you so much, Wambui. I really appreciate you coming to my show today. But I have some fun facts, and I have them here on this computer here. So we're gonna go through them really quick, and we're gonna see just for fun. Favorite dish?
Oh, favorite dish, chapati.
Chapati?
Yes.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Oh man, the one that I've watched with my kids. Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. Favorite song?
Favorite song? Oh Lord, it's a Christian song. Lord, you are good and your mercy endureth forever.
Okay, good, amazing. Favorite color?
Black, because it
black. Okay. Favorite city? I think I know this one. Favorite
city? Is Diani a city? No, it's not. I like
Diani. I was so far off.
Where did you think?
New York City.
Favorite city? It could be New York, but I like I guess if you were asking me, favorite vacation place would be Diani, but favorite city, yes, New York.
New York, okay. Favorite TV show?
Oh, I don't do TV shows. I haven't watched TV in a year.
Really? Okay, so you don't do TV shows. Favorite season? Winter, spring, summer, fall?
Fall.
Fall? So we are in it right now.
Yes.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. I think my favorite season is spring, because summer is coming. All right, favorite Kenyan Mugithi musician? Mugithi.
Please.
Mugithi.
Mugithi.
Yes.
Favorite Mugithi musician, and I'm a Kenyan.
Yeah. Do you know any Mugithi song?
I only know the one Mugithi yo. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. All right, so you don't know.
Another one? I don't know.
Okay, favorite Kenyan gospel musician?
Favorite Kenyan gospel musician? Julia Lucy.
Julia Lucy, the late.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. See, now we get to know you a little bit more outside of your entrepreneurship and all that. So that's really good. All right. Now, before we leave, how can people connect with you? Give them your social media handles. How can they connect with you? Do you have a website for your coaching business? How do we reach you?
Oh, thank you. So they can connect with me. My Instagram is where I normally am, wambui.g.mburu. So you can go to Instagram, and if you go to my bio and click on the link tree, you can see all my programs are there. You can also book a 30-minute call there for my coaching program.
Okay.
My website is wambuimburu.com.
Okay.
And then on Facebook, I'm Wambui Mburu. And then again, like I said, I have one-on-one. I have 3 spots for one-on-one coaching. So get to my Calendly through my bio, and I look forward to.
Do they get some special discount if they mention they found you on this show? Connect with her, tell her that you found her, or you found out about her services through this channel, and you get a special discount. Thank you so much for accepting.
Yes, you do. And those ones who are here in the diaspora, that would be good. If you connect with me, then I can connect you with these people that we're trying to support in Kenya. So it's more of the diasporas too. If you have a business and you want a virtual assistant, let me know and we'll connect you. And
all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the link to your Linktree.
Yes.
Linktree, yeah.
Linktree, yes.
So I'm going to put her Linktree on the description box so that when you click on it, it's going to give you all her other social media sites and websites. So we make sure that you end up in the right place. All right. Awesome. So thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Liz. It's so nice to be in your show.